Greetings and welcome to the Bowling Green First United Methodist Church. We hope that you enjoy what you're about to see, and you can find us on the corner of Broadway and Church Streets at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings. Or you can find us at bgmethodist.org and on Facebook at Bowling Green First United Methodist Church.
So I was looking at the scripture reading for today because this is the Sunday where we traditionally celebrate Jesus' baptism, and so we have this story of John the Baptist and Jesus. And I was looking at that, going, well, I wonder, okay, how am I going to approach this year? And I got to looking into it some more, looking at it, and I said, well, there are some lessons for us to remember that kind of come out of this story. And then I thought, I've got some great ways that maybe we can kind of illustrate a few of those. And one of the first lessons is that you don't necessarily have to be the absolute best at the thing that you do. There is something maybe that's more important about that. In this first video clip, there's this great race where, if y'all know who Usain Bolt is, he's one of the fastest people on the planet. He is running the anchor of a four-man relay. And well, let's see how it kind of goes.
No one cleanly. Just the confidence good. George is also right. There's not much to choose between them. In fact, I think Hodgins got a slight lead on Jamaicans going into the changeover. Justin Gatlin taking over for the Americans. For the Jamaicans, it's very cold. Commonwealth champion. Thanks to USA. Very good one as well. It was a great leg from Gatlin. And now United States ahead with Tyson Gay. Trying to come back for Jamaican Sashmi, but the United States are in front. Cannonball now responds. Tony with a massive lead. Usain Bolt running hard down the straight, trying to win him in. He's closing on every stride. The leading himself a big enough advantage. USA winning. Jamaica second. Japan third. 37.39 the time. New championship record.
Now, I do believe that if he'd had another 100 meters, he might have caught up with him. But he was incredibly good, but he wasn't going to win that race on his own. It took the other three people that were on that team for him to try and do that. And maybe we don't know the names of the guys on the American team, but they managed to win the race. All four of them did just what they needed to do to keep them up and keep them going. So you don't always have to be the best, but what's important, well, we talked about how they're making that handoff from one to the next, and there's each person on that team making that work. So that's one of these big parts that we're going to see is how was each person on there making things go and making them happen. Now, there's another one that is, y'all have seen those trick plays that they really like to play in football sometimes. The ones where they do one thing and something else happens and you aren't quite sure where the ball actually is half the time. There's some of those. Sometimes they can be really bad, or sometimes they can be really quite good at what they do.
That's the hole. That's inside of the tight end. Touchdown, Green Bay. Our first lead. Look at the blocking inside right there. That is a wonderful job. John Park downfield. The block by Evan Peter. Two guys are back up offensive line. That's my best shot right there, my best shot. An explanation is keep it and come this way. Earlier, they ran the Statue of Liberty where he did
Presbyterian playing its first game ever against the BCS Wake Forest. You can't go to Presbyterian without tricky. All right, well, you can, but you get the point. How about this play? They make the ball, they bounce, they move over, and then they bounce it into back.
The old lateral, not dead. That's a great call right there.
Look,
Wow.
you think, oh, it's on the turf. Everybody stops. No, hammers it down the field. The execution, the tosses, perfect. Excellent job by Presbyterian.
Yeah, I like that last one. You watch that as, you know, the guy, like, he gets the ball, like, oh, it bounced. They're all like, we're going to stop. Then that one guy figures it out, like, wait a minute, it may not be dead. He comes in, the guy's like, sorry, there it goes, and it's done. I mean, what's great about that, everyone's got to play their role perfectly in that. I mean, it's even then, it may not succeed because it's a trick play. By their very definition, they may not actually go anywhere, but they're going to try it. But for it to really work well, everyone has to do their part, and they've got to sell it. Every person's got to kind of have to know what they need to do in order to make that happen. And so we've seen on the one hand, we've got this relay where you've got to make the handoff, and each person has to do their part of that relay. If they can each do their part really well, as a whole, their team may even beat out the fastest person on the planet because they do their part and they make that handoff and they make it work. Other times we can say that, you can fool everybody, or you can do something that is totally unexpected if everyone does their part right, and it makes that work. Now, sometimes there are just times when everything just clicks and works together, and everyone has worked together so well that they just know how it's going to go and what they need to do, and they're aware of everything is taking place. And you can take something that would be ordinary or a normal part of any game or situation and make it extraordinary, maybe a little bit like this.
Good slider, fastball.
In the middle, and Conte to Escobar. Unbelievable!
Now, of course, part of that was it's the Royals on there too. So that was Danny Oli this morning, and that video got done, and Donnie Tucker goes, "Oh, of course it's the Royals you've got up there."
Usually you see them on the blue.
We get wrong with that. I grew up with the Royals when they weren't very good. I'm used to seeing them on the bloopers, not doing something like that. But you watch they're throwing the ball with their glove, they're barehanding it, catching it with an eye. Like, this is not what you're supposed to do in baseball, but they know each other, they know who's around, they know that they can trust that things are going to happen, and they turn what would have been probably an ordinary single. It happens all the time in baseball. It's kind of an expected part of the game. You know that's going to happen. They can turn it into something really, really impressive and do something great with it because they know each other, they know how this works, and they know how this is all, and they know that they can make that happen. And so we've seen these three different stories from three different sports, kind of in how they work together, and we see the same thing. We see the same kind of handoff and trust and faith taking place in the story with Jesus and John the Baptist this morning, as they are coming together, and things are going to happen now in this story that maybe are a little bit unexpected. Now remember, when we're coming into Matthew's Gospel, you've heard me say this several times, and you'll hear me say this a number of other times, that remember who Matthew is writing to. He is writing to a primarily Jewish audience. Matthew is Jewish, he's writing to Jews about Jesus, and so he knows what they expect. He knows what they are looking for. He knows all of these other things. And it's not just that Matthew knew this, but his audience knows this. Jesus knows this. John knows this. And even as we hear God's voice at the end of this story come into play, God knows what it is that they are expecting. But remember, though, that sometimes we can take expected things and turn them into something else. We can change them, we can overcome maybe the difficulties that are there, or we can take what is expected and completely turn it up on its head and do something different, or we can make something ordinary into something extraordinary. That's what we're seeing take place. Because John is out, John has come down, and he knows his role. He is baptizing people in the Jordan River. And he is down there, he is making his baptisms, and Jesus comes down to see him. Now, John either recognizes him because they're only a few months apart and they're related, and says, hey, what are you doing down here? Or John looks at him and sees that there is something very different about him from everyone else that's around. And probably was both, really. John's going, hey, that's my cousin Jesus, and hey, wow, okay, there's something different about him. And so he knows something is coming. He knows who Jesus really is. He has an understanding of that Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus knows this, but no one else does. It's a secret from everyone else that is gathered around there. But John doesn't really know that this is a secret, so Jesus comes down and says, I need you to baptize me. And John responds back to him and says, dude, that's not how this works. I don't baptize you, you baptize me. Now he also did say, I'm not sure that anyone ever called Jesus dude, but I mean, this was the conversation they had. John says, that's not how this works. This is not what is supposed to happen here. You're the Messiah. You're supposed to baptize me. But Jesus responds back and basically says, you know that and I know that, but what they're expecting is this. So you need to baptize me to make sure that we're doing all of the right things, to fulfill all righteousness. Let's make sure that we're doing all of this. This is in the gospel story, this is that handoff moment. This is the part where they're passing the baton on to the next person. This is the part where the guy decides to say, hey, I'm not going to kick this ball. I'm going to hold it back and I'm going to toss it down for something different. This is the point when the ball goes into the first guy's glove and he's like, you know what, we can make something happen here. This is that moment of handoff, of transition, where we're taking what is expected, and the expectation being that John baptizes people. Jesus is, to everyone else's knowledge, is just another regular person coming down to see John and is going to be baptized by him. But Jesus is going to do something different with that. Everyone else needed to know that Jesus had been baptized, that we had made this switch from John the Baptist, who was taking on the role of a prophet from an age past, and baptizing in the river, and saying, and now he was baptizing Jesus so folks could follow from one to the other. And so when they get to Jesus, then they're going, when Jesus starts going out and teaching and preaching and performing miracles and doing all of these things, that they're going to go along with it and not even realize that things have been turned up on their head until they are in the very middle of it, and they are excited for what Jesus is doing because they have made that transition and that handoff, and they've made it happen. This is what we see happening in this story with Jesus and John the Baptist this morning. The story is changing and it's becoming different. Now this is our role inside of this story now, because now we are the ones that are on the receiving end of that baton. It's been handed off to us. As Jesus was baptized by John, and then he went on to do all of the things that he did, and at the very end to be crucified, resurrected, and then ascend into heaven. But remember, he said, now I will send my Holy Spirit to be with you, to guide you and strengthen you, and sends the Holy Spirit down to his disciples on the day of Pentecost. That's the next big transition point. That's the next big handoff in the gospel story, is when it goes from Jesus to now the disciples. And now it's being handed off to them, and now it is their turn to go out and to share that message and to spread the good news. And then every generation since it has been handed down from one to the next, to the next, to the next, as that story gets passed on and handed down to the next generation, and then on to us. And now it's our job to hand it on to others, because we stand in a place where we've got one foot on both sides of things. One in the world where we know what to expect, where the world works in a certain way and people have certain expectations of what it is that's going to happen. Well, we have received that good news, and now it is our turn to hand it off, to be able to share with folks and take them into maybe a world they don't know, that is unexpected, but that is greater and better than this world of the expected, where the extraordinary and the amazing things happen, where there is new life and new hope and new promise that we can't find on one side, but we can help folks make that transition from one then to the other. Because that's part of who we are, part of what it is that we have been called to do. Now, we don't do this, though, on our own. Because this is one of the great things that Jesus did, was that he didn't just put together a self-help manual for individuals to make their lives better. But it said he started a movement. He called disciples to come and to follow. And so that when that time came, when he ascended and then the Holy Spirit came down, the disciples went to being apostles. And the members of this movement that Jesus started went from being just part of a movement to being part of a church. And now that church is what we are a part of now, because Jesus says we do this work better together as a group, as people who can help understand our faith and grow in faith together and help one another. But then it's also as this same group, this same church, that we can take that baton and we can share it with others. We can pass on what it is that we have received to others that maybe haven't seen it yet, but we can do that together as a community of faith. This is one of the great messages that comes out of this story, that starts with the story of Jesus' baptism, but goes through the rest of the Gospels and through the rest of the New Testament that we share in still today. And so our challenge now is to go out and to figure out how do we, I'll take my makeshift baton up here, how do we go and make that transition? How do we go and make that handoff from one to the next, to the next, to the next? Sometimes it may be just as easy as, have the four kids up here going, we don't need to run, we'll just hand this off down the road because I put them too close together. Other times it may take a little bit of work in between, but this is what we have been given, the possibility that we can do this work. The hope that comes from Jesus Christ that makes it possible. We can go and we can do this, and this is where we have been called to go, called to share, called to hand that faith off. So I invite you to go this week as we go throughout our week, and in big ways or small ways or however it works, to take that chance to hand that baton off to another person, to share in that hope and that promise that comes in Christ with someone else. It doesn't have to be in a big way necessarily, because remember, we're doing this as a group together, but that we can make it happen. I invite you to go and to share, to pass that baton on, to share that faith with others, and to see how God is going to be at work, not just in what we do here, but what is going on in our community all around us. Let us go and share in that promise as we go forward in this week. And let us do that in Christ's name.